Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. We're Team Shakti. It's an honor to be here today. I would like to talk about the word Shakti. Shakti means power and strength in almost every Indian language. It's something that talks about the vitality of life that people can live with, and it's also something that 6 out of 10 pregnant women in India do not have. Um, out of whom a lot of them are given IFA tablets as courses, iron and folic acid supplements, and out of all of those who are diagnosed with anemia, only 40% of them complete the course of medication. Um, Here's where Shakti comes in. Shakti is an app that's available on the Android and the iOS store, which is free to use. It's a it's a detection, monitoring, and awareness spreading app that's available for the masses. It can be used anywhere and anytime. Our motto is to have it as a use case from detection to delivery. Um, so let's talk about detection. We have an image classification model that runs on the background that helps take an image of your inner eyelids. Based on the color of your inner eyelids, the model can easily predict if you have anemia or not, and also give an accurate prediction of your blood hemoglobin level. The mo- our app is two pronged. It faces both the healthcare provider as well as the customer or the patient. We will the This video will show you how it looks for the doctor or the healthcare provider. It's comprehensive. The doctor logs in. He or she has a registration number that they are assigned. They have a tool that helps take pictures of the patient. Once the inner eyelid picture is taken, they analyze this. This is sent to the model. It then gives out a prediction of whether the patient has anemia or not. And then you can sort of put the patient's details and info in, and then it gets to a dashboard that you're looking at. In essence, it's an end-to-end prediction and monitoring software. The next thing that we wanted to talk about was monitoring. It doesn't just stop at detection. We also want to constantly be able to monitor the patients because they have to take their IFA supplements on time. Otherwise, the deficit gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is what the monitoring backend looks like. So every time the healthcare provider opens the app, all of the patients are in one place. It shows how many of them have missed how many courses and so on. The next a common myth that we encountered during our research is that people think that dietary supplements can often make up for the deficit. This is, however, not true. Dietary supplements can only take you so far. Whereas if you want to make up for the deficit, you need to eat like close to 2 pounds of dates per day, and that's infeasible. What we're most excited about is the patient-facing part of the app. So this is what the app looks like for the patient. It's in the easy onboarding. Your doctor gives you a code which you enter. Once you enter that code, you have the app that opens up, and you constantly record whether you're taking your IFA medication on time. And there's also subsequent nudges that happen over time and over your course of medication. Um, we have some users who we have a doctor who was kind enough to like talk to us, and was able to like we have a bunch of doctors we spoke to, and this is one of them. She was able to talk about how anemia would help her in her practice.
See, Shakti, I heard is an app. It seems it's very good, especially at the tertiary level where there is no lab facilities and the people are not that educated, who scared of going for the pricking and all these things. So in such cases where the doctor's facilities are not there, so it is, I think it is a very useful app at the beginning, just to screen the ladies so that they can start uh, their medication, because if they are healthy, we will get the healthy child, and then the society will be healthy.
The emphasis I'd like to place here is the fact that it's not just about the mother; it's also about the child and subsequent generations from there on. There's a long-lasting impact with respect to bringing out a product like this, only because you solve for a problem that's affecting a lot of people, and on top of it, you're elongating the time that you're able to have impact on them. Um, the other video that we have is somebody who suffered from anemia, who had anemia when they were pregnant, and this is what they had to say if about the app.
படிக்கிற காலத்துலேருந்தே எனக்கு அனீமியான்னு சொல்லி டயக்னோஸ் பண்ணாங்க டாக்டர். இது ப்ரெக்னென்சி டைம்லேயும் எனக்கு இருந்தது. அயர்ன் டேப்லெட்ஸ் எந்த ஃபார்ம்லேயும் சாப்பிட முடியல, பாடி ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தது. அதுக்கப்புறம் நேச்சுரலாக கீரை அந்த மாதிரி சாப்பிட்டு தான் நான் மேனேஜ் பண்ணேன். அந்த டைமில் எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஆப்பு என்னோட டாக்டர்கிட்ட இருந்ததுன்னா அது ரொம்ப உபகாரமாக இருந்திருக்கும். ஏன்னா எனக்கு இந்த மருந்துங்கள்லாம் ஃபாலோ அப் பண்ணுறது தான் கஷ்டமாக இருந்தது. இந்த சக்தி ஆப்பை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அந்த டாக்டர்லேருந்து பேஷண்ட்டுக்கு ஃபாலோ பண்ணி அது கரெக்டாக அந்த டாக்டர் எனக்கு ட்ராக் வைக்கிறது இருந்தால் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருந்திருக்கும்.
Here the emphasis is on the fact that we are able to make sure somebody's on course for their medication timeline, because if they miss it, the deficit gets worse. And it's often a problem in Indian women, because when they're pregnant, they don't take the medication on time, either because the iron tablet stays too strong. But again, there's no substitute to it. So therefore, something that helps you nudge along the course of your medication really helps. The current market size for Indian women in rural India is 351 million users. Our estimated cost for making the app is $12,000, whereas it'll be free of cost to use, because a lot of different healthcare tech is more or less free of use for on the Android and the iOS App Store. Our outreach efforts so far involve talking to Antara Foundation and Arman, who have IFA distribution setups across the country. We also spoke to the Center for Social and Behavioral Change, which is based out of Ashoka University in India. They will help multiply our ability to reach the masses and ensure that like our program takes effect. Our roadmap is currently we're in the data collection phase. Obviously, to train a model, we need extreme amounts of data. We need to we aim to finish a collection of data by Q1 2024, and we aim to hit app rollout by Q3 2024. Thank you, and that's us.
Thank you so much. So just want to clarify that the target audience would be then pregnant expecting mothers. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Right.
We have two target user groups, doctors, healthcare practitioners across the country, as well as pregnant expectant mothers.
Yeah, so this is not for older ages, ranges, or people who, right, because iron has a lot of potential side effects that particularly for older persons, and there are multiple reasons why someone might be anemic. So I just wanted to clarify that. And so healthcare access to a doctor if you're pregnant in India is not the problem. It's more the compliance and the diagnosis of anemia or going to the lab. That's one thing I'm not clear.
Yes. Currently, the only method of diagnosis in Indian healthcare, at least in the rural centers, is a blood test. And that's invasive. So you need to have a blood test that's taken, and it needs to be sent to a lab within the next 24 hours. And often at times, these places are located very far away from like centers with a lab. Using an AI detection tool would really solve for that distance factor and also the time crunch factor.
Yeah, I love this idea, and I can see a lot of other applications for this. For instance, with athletes. I'm curious though, how accurate is the reading you're getting from the capillaries to an actual digital reading of how anemic you are, so an actual number?
Yes.
Or is it just kind of a yes/no?
For now, it's a yes/no, but the next step is obviously the predictive model, wherein we have an accurate reading that's coming that should be able to pop up on the screen. What currently happens in Indian setting, the reason why we ended up pursuing this process is usually what the doctor asks you to do is like he pulls down the eyelid and checks if it's like a certain level of red, and he or she kind of understands if the person is anemic or not. We wanted to establish that first, and then bring out predictive analytics on top of it, which is getting a number on top of it, and making sure we have an accurate reading. But it should not be very difficult to make. But currently we have like a classification and not a.
So you think that is possible to have it?
Very possible. It just we are not at the volume of data that we want to be at. I would say it would require like 10,000 possible recordings.
Thank you.
The patient interview sounded like she was aware that she was anemic, but then found that the iron tablets to still be uncomfortable to take. Is the idea that this would be the nudge that is needed to kind of push them over and make them decide to take the tablet?
Yes. So in like a more deeper interview that we took with her, her issue was the fact that it was too strong, and over time she got a little lazy to take it. Which it's like a correlation, right? So you don't like the taste of it, and B, you find it like a hassle to take it, and those combined into her not following through with the complete course of medication. But a simple nudge maybe could have helped, and I'm pretty certain in a lot of, especially app cases, nudges usually really help.
Following up on that, there's usually a lot of cultural stigma associated with taking iron tablets. Most women think that, oh, it's going to really weaken my baby, and and when you have a sort of association, you have the app design where you have Shakti written prominently, and you reinforce that message by saying that this is for a stronger baby, a healthier baby, and then you make it as informative and engaging as possible, so that mothers really know and realize that they are battling a stigma around this product as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.